Hello, and welcome, my Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign. Welcome to your work, career, and vocation read for April and May 2021. I am your reader, Angelo, Lyons, Mal for short, professional witch, professional intuitive, president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, the Archangel of Lyons, Angelo Lyons, but you can call me Mal. Hey, my Rams, hope you are well. Did not do a work, career, vocation read for March and April because I got busy. The book Words of Grace that I put out on Kindle, promoting that and making videos for it and stuff has kind of eaten up a bit of my time, but I'm back to doing a work, career, and vocation read for April and May. I always do them 2 months together. It's not until, right? It's both April and May. But certainly the February-March reading is still up if you would like to check them out in the playlist. Let's get down to business. Yeah, I have been a rather busy witch here at DrawingTheCircle Productions, not just the book on Kindle, Words of Grace, from a professional witch on Kindle, but we've been doing a lot of stuff. We've been doing Facebook events, paid and free with Zoom and all that stuff. Been doing tarot parties and workshops and Sabbats and full moon stuff on the DrawingTheCircle Productions Facebook page. If you're interested, go check it out. Living proof that you do not need to fit into anybody's cookie cutter to bring together your work, career, and vocation to survive, to create, and to follow your inspiration in life. There you have it, right? It's part of your spiritual path, too. It's not like your work life is separate from any of it. And new collaborators, right? It's like Mal Flanders doing these dollhouse reads and scenes from the dollhouse, which are just absolutely hysterically funny. They make me pee myself laughing. That's why they're on the channel, and I love her. Nancy Antonucci's doing stuff for us. It looks like Wednesday nights are going to be our premiere nights on the channel. To bring in my collaborators, unless they really throw something at me that's wonderful, like the dollhouse reads. They're just a lot of fun. 2-3 minutes, can't beat them, and they're funny. It's all tongue-in-cheek. If anybody's like basing a major life decision on a dollhouse reading, just to lighten things up a little bit, Mal's great. She's my podcast partner. Mal and Mal Do is the name of our podcast. And all of that shit aside, let's talk about you now, shall we, Aries? We are doing a 9-card spread, 3 levels of power spread, actually work, career, vocation. We're going to be looking at the dynamics going on and what you need to do to survive the physical world, in the physical world work, your career, your internal passion, hunger, and thirst, and your vocation, your spiritual calling, using 3 decks of cards, 3 cards each. We're going to use the Carolyn Myss archetype deck to get you the archetypal energies, if you like, the 8th chakra kind of soul power energies of your work, career, vocation. Then we use Daughters of the Moon to get you 3 for that heart, throat, third eye crown, right? The world behind your eyes, your passion, your thirst, the thing that really turns you on, where you are with that. And then for the outside world, the masculine energy, root, sacrum, solar plexus, the physical world, we will be using the Mythic Tarot. And I really enjoy doing these readings. I've been doing them for myself and for clients for decades and decades and decades, because everybody's trying to bring them into alignment, particularly after this last year or so of isolation, right? How do I do what I love to make money because this is killing me? Or, you know what I mean, draining me dry. And we're all reinventing ourselves, so may this truly be a blessing. You ready to rock and roll? Standard YouTube reading rules apply. Take what resonates, leave what doesn't. It is a general read. If you don't like it, chances are it's just not your read. But if you do, please like it and subscribe and all that jazz, and I'll remind you at the end as well. Why? Because I am president of DrawingTheCircle Productions, and if I ain't gonna do it, who's got it, right? I guess that's about it, right? All the decks that I read are always in the description box in the very, very, very bottom of it. I put the links to all the cards so people can check them out if they want more. But other than that, all I can ask from anybody watching any of my readings is both feet on the floor if you can. If you can't, it's fine. And focus on your breath, if you will. I will do the same to get you the clarity, guidance, and grace that I can from my pantheons of the divine, in this case, work, career, and vocation, to help you, you know, bring your manifestation, your destiny into full-blown physical manifestation from 8th chakra down into root. Shall we? Take a nice deep breath, my Rams. I know a lot of talk just to get to that first breath. Here we go. First read of the series. Oh, I'm excited. Please, my collective pantheons, using the Caroline Myss archetype deck, my collective pantheons of angels, archangels, goddesses, gods, ascended masters, and the higher selves of all involved. Please, 1 card in clarity to start. We'll do, actually, let's get 3. Work, career, vocation. What is the archetypal dynamic? that the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, needs to be aware of, right? In terms of like the 8th chakra for work, career, and vocation, that higher spiritual power, first in their work, then their career, then their vocation, April and May 2021. So there we've got their work, lower 3 chakras, right? Physical world, how they survive, survival intuition, for their heart, third eye crown, their personal level of power, their creative intuition, and for that 8th chakra vocation, their spiritual power, their spiritual calling. Please, one card in clarity for the Aries watching this video, receiving this reading. Yeah, I guess they're a little indecisive about, yeah, you keep giving me 2, just 1. Aries, 8th chakra, vocation, work, career, vocation, April, May 2021. I guess I needed to focus a little bit more. It is the first read. Let's see who you got. Now remember, archetypes are neutral. In this deck, they put, this is interesting, an action archetype, an action family archetype, and 2 wisdom family archetypes. It's actually off to a pretty good start, but what's written on the card here are the shadow and the light attributes, and as toxic as the shadow is as bright as the light, and vice versa. So as good as it may sound, you want to look at the shadow of this too. Now, what I like is you've got the action family archetype. There are 9 families. The action family is just one of them. About how, you know, your power of taking action in the world, different than your masculine family archetype. You ain't got one of those on the table, right now at least. We are looking at the advocate in terms of speaking up for those who don't have voices. However, the shadow attribute, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. Now, there's nothing wrong with, you know, advocating and getting paid for it. I mean, come on. There's a whole industry that it penetrates other industries, right? I'm going to say it's parasitic, but sort of like that. But in its shadow, if you're just doing it, skimming off the top, you know, whatever that is, fundraising for a cause and totally like robbing people blind, you know the vibe. But also embracing a negative cause, right? Something that you know in your gut isn't right for you or humanity or something like that. The light attribute, though, that you're shooting for here inspires you to put compassion into action. And if you can really just get that on a physical level. I mean, everybody does. Everybody has to learn that. Understanding what is it like in their shoes. It's a little bit more than empathy, compassion. Compassion, the best, one of many definitions I know, but you know, Dalai Lama, Buddhism. You want to go for compassion, start there. The Western versions get a little dicey. But one Western version that I like, I think I got this from Marianne Williamson back in the 80s or the 90s, holding a vision for somebody that they are not capable of holding for themselves in that moment. And to do that even for yourself, right? So putting that into action. And certainly you can say advocate is certainly a job title. So in work, if you are an advocate in some way, shape, or form, you know, particularly if you're if you're a healer, like, you know, a nurse or something like that, where you have to advocate and speak up for people, it might be something in your work that you do, something like that, where you have to actually not just feel the compassion, but put it into action. Yeah, so that's lower 3 chakras, physical world, work. This is your career, heart, third eye crown, and the mentor. Wisdom family archetype, as is your last one. We'll get there in a few minutes. The mentor archetype is very much a one-on-one thing, although one mentor can have many mentees. That's actually, I believe, the correct word for it, because we had a mentorship program in the Coven 8 billion years ago, and I left that coven because I am not a mentor. I'm a teacher. I am a speaker, right? I am an artist, and I will never high priest again. ever again. No thanks. Too political. No. But occasionally I will find someone slipping under my wing. In fact, that's what's in the picture here, a mentor with a student, I guess is the right word, mentee is actually the correct one, under their wing. But the shadow attribute, I've been on the shadow side of this, on the other side of the shadow, someone else's shadow, for a mentor, inability to allow the student to move on to the role of master. Right? It's like just when you start to really get close to their level of understanding or something, they sabotage, right? Inability, not just they don't want to, they can't, right? Imparting false instructions. Now that's as heinous as it gets in terms of a mentor. That's essentially lying. So keep an eye out on that for yourself. This really is sort of your energy that you're looking at, though you might be dealing with this, the advocacy in your work. This might be dealing with a mentor in your career, heart, third eye, crown. So you're really looking for the light attribute, passing on wisdom and refining a student's character. So the role of the mentor isn't to carry them over the finish line. No, it's not even to teach them how to do stuff. It's to kind of be there for them. It's a companionship vibe, but it's about wisdom. It really is more mental, right? It's very Obi-Wan. Yes, Obi-Wan taught him how to use a fucking lightsaber. But he wasn't just a teacher, right? It's more of a one-on-one second chakra relationship, hopefully without the, the weird sex shit stuff going on in it. Sorry. Reverend Potty Mouth. No longer Reverend, so now I'm just Potty Mouth. President Potty Mouth. Oh, I like that better. So that's interesting. Now, I'm going to say, third eye, heart, third eye, crown, really, really think about this. Don't only think about it, feel about it too, because why then the compassion? The advocate in physical form, because an advocate and a mentor in one person in one energy field feels like you could get a lot done, particularly if this is driving the advocacy. But here's the one that I think is really great. You got the student archetype in your 8th chakra, in your vocation. So like being a spiritual student, really getting that, hey, I don't know it all. I know I don't know it all. That's the first grace I talk about in my book, Words of Grace, is the grace of humility, one of the gateway goddess graces, the maiden goddess, grant me the gateway, oh dear, great maiden goddess, grant me the gateway grace of humility, to know that I do not know when I do not know, but that I am willing to be shown, right? The shadow attribute, arrogance in the pursuit of destructive knowledge. Now, I've been there. I've studied, well, I'm a potion witch, so of course I studied poisons. It's just necessary. You have to learn, don't eat the datura, do not lick the spoon with that, certain things you have to learn in herbalism, that's for sure. But I'm talking about, for a while there, I was actually instructed, believe it or not, in a mentorship relationship for that sort of black candles at midnight with rusted nails and gopher dust, and I can do shit with a stick of Big Red, you have no idea. And you know what? So, okay, maybe there's a little bit of that in me, a little bit of arrogance. It's like, yeah, but that's not who I want to be. This second part, unwillingness to translate knowledge into action, is usually more what we see in the shadow side of the student, right? Forever students. How many degrees do you need before you actually get a job, right? And can you put it into action in a compassionate way? Now, this is spiritual, right? This is 8th chakra, unless you have that real sort of higher calling to be that forever student and just learn everything that you can. But we're definitely looking about putting it into action here, and you may well need a mentor or be a mentor to help you do this. The light attribute, which I love, humility and devotion to knowledge, openness to lifelong learning. Now, I'm a horrible student, believe it or not, but I'm a brilliant teacher. I'm not blowing my own horn. It was really, really hard being a horrible student. I am an autodidact, self-taught. So, I would take the information home and teach myself the material. And I've had some great teachers along the way, by the way. But they always had more an effect on me personally, because I am a teacher. The teacher archetype since birth, really. I can name you every teacher I've ever had. So the student thing, if you can really get into that place, well, grant me that grace of humility. It is a gateway grace, which means it opens you up to other graces, known and unknown. The 3, the Maiden, the Mother, and the Crone grace. Videos on my YouTube. Go check them out. There are tons of them. But to really get that, it's like, okay, spiritually, I have no idea. Like, how about the divine plan? Okay, what's the divine plan for my work, career, vocation? I don't know. But I can have an openness to lifelong learning spiritually, no matter what I'm doing for my work, no matter what's going on in my career. I can really align that with, well, then fuck it, I'm just going to learn, or at least for April, May 2021, which I think is a wise thing to do for anybody. But that's what's on the table for you. All right, what is this like, heart, third eye, crown? What's going on, right, in your interior world, in your work, career, vocation? Because that really depends. It depends. It depends on whether you're enjoying yourself or not, whether it's fulfilling or if the contract has expired, but you're still there. Please breathe. Yes, both feet on the floor. I'm going to give the rule. I can obey my own rule. Yeah, it's more like a guideline. Breathe. All right, my goddesses of air and the sign of, my goddesses of Aries and the sign of fire. Yeah, the vibe is just jumping on this all of a sudden. Please, 3 cards in clarity, heart, throat, third eye, crown. For the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading in their work, career, vocation, please clarify what's going on for them. We'll do 3 cards face down. With the Advocate archetype in their work, I'll take that one. The Mentor in their career, heart, third eye, crown. And the Student. I'll riffle again. Of course I'll riffle again. My beloved goddesses of fire and the sign of Aries, please clarify, heart, third eye, crown, what's their experience of that student archetype in their vocation. 1, 2, 3. Okay. Now, with this Advocate archetype in your work, you've got the 4 of Swords. Now, I know it looks like the 2 of Swords from the Rider-Waite deck, but it's not. There are 2 swords hidden underneath her, well, under the bench that she's sitting on, right? Still blindfolded. We still have, looks like the flood coming in that she can't see, right? But it's a 4. The key word on the card is deception, and I'm not really a keyword reader that much anymore. Really tuning into this, it feels like that 4 of Swords in terms of that, okay, it's like I know that I don't know. But how can I be compassionate? There's a lot of thought, a lot of meditation, even though there is another card in this deck specifically for meditation in the sort of blades in this deck. It's not called swords. It's the same thing, same idea. But there might be a little bit of a stabilizing of mind, right? A resting of the mind, perhaps a getting organized for what would come next, the 5, right? The change of mind. So some integration. It feels like you've been thinking about it a lot. You've certainly committed yourself to this advocacy in some way, shape, or form. Now remember, it doesn't mean you have to be a professional advocate, but putting compassion into inspires you, right? That's a key word here, to be inspired to put compassion into action. I'm not going to say that you're totally hamstrung, but there's definitely something here that you're not seeing. And I think you're aware of that. And so it can be, do I really want to put compassion into action in this situation? If, for example, you get the feeling that something's off here, right? Something's off. Something's not above board. I don't know what this is. Now, embracing negative causes or committing to causes for personal gain. Again, that might not be you. That might not be you. That might be something going on in your work environment. And it can be an entire industry, too. It doesn't mean you have to know all the people involved. Internal stuff. For your career, again, you've got the Mentor, and I love this. You have got the 6 of Flames, the 6 of Wands, which in other decks is called Victory. This is Play Bastet, the Egyptian cat goddess of the sun, and one of my favorites. I mean, my last name is Lyons. I'm Leo rising. You bet, the feline goddess of cats and the sun. I'm all down for that. I can't wait to go to the beach. I can't wait to lay out on the beach. I am a Virgo sun, Pisces moon, Leo rising, so where the sea hits the sand in that line of sunlight, that's me. That's exactly me in element form. This playfulness, guys, that this mentorship probably is very exciting and very creative and very fair and balanced. So I'm not getting, well, although I'm crossing my solar plexus, I'm not getting that ookie feeling of somebody being a shadow mentor here. Okay, thank you. Good point. I consider Carolyn Myss to be a long-distance mentor. I've never met her face-to-face. She probably don't know my name. You know, she probably just, I mean, I don't know, who knows what. I don't assume anything anymore. Thank you, Don Miguel Ruiz, right? Don Miguel Ruiz, although he's more of a teacher. But Carolyn Myss was really there for me through her work, through so many horrible times. Dark nights of the soul. I think I've had enough of those, but you never know, right? Dark nights of the soul are the most powerful form of spiritual transformation you can go through that pretty much sucks beginning, middle, and end. And I think the whole world has been going through it, so we're still getting through it, and we're all in this together. So to know that there is this playfulness here feels really good. Now, if your career, for example, is different than what you're doing for work, this could be your creativity, but that you are either giving or receiving mentorship. So let's say you're not so sure about how you want to put your compassion into action at the work that you're doing. So you're working with somebody as an artist, right? Or to gain instruction or some way imparting, refining your craft. Now, this is survival intuition, creative intuition, visionary intuition. Wait till we get there. So, of course, your creative intuition, you'll know it. It'll feel like play. It'll feel like fun. It'll feel like expansion. I was just talking to Mal about that today with these dollhouse reads and the end scenes from the dollhouse. She's like, I know they're ridiculous, but they're so much fun, and it's given her life. And how can I not let a good friend do that on my channel, right? And it's cracking me up, too. Check them out. They're funny. She's going to keep doing them. I don't care if people like them or not. I laughed. And I still will. With this student archetype in your 8th chakra, your vocation, you've got the Hermit. But I love that here. This is traveling upwards. This is going deeper, further in and higher up to get up into that 8th chakra, taking some time up, seeing things from the satellite point of view. Not so much like an Aquarian, because that's the Aquarius fixed air, the stratosphere. It is the Virgo card in that sense. This isn't just about seeing the world in a different way. This is about seeing your path from a higher place, from the humility of that student to just say, hey, whatever it takes, just show me what I need to know and let me let go of what I may want to know but don't need to know, because when what we want to know and what we need to know happen to be the same thing, it's manifestation. But if it's not, oh, I'm doing something wrong, just none of that's true. We're only shown what we need to know. Remember Moses in the desert 40 years, right? We're all in good company. So I love this for you. This is such a high spiritual card and your only major arcana card so far. We still got 3 more to hit the table in the next level. The physical part of this, but I just love this. I love this so much. If you can really, there's so much fun here, but I kind of get the thing about you might have to actually speak up about something that is unfair as an advocate, either speaking up for yourself, putting compassion into action for yourself, or to someone else. Maybe you've done that already. Maybe you're getting ready to walk away from something that was toxic. And you've meditated on it, you've thought about it, you've planned it out. We'll see in these next 3 cards what's happening in the physical here. But that part of deception, though, I wonder what's that about, if it applies, and I think we will find out next. Last 3 cards on the table. Mythic Tarot, the Daughters of the Moon were my feminine, my divine feminine deck, my goddess deck. This is the masculine, my god deck. Let's look at the masculine energy, either how you appear from the outside looking in or some aspect of this physically. Please take a nice deep breath. Gotcha. My gods of fire and the sign of Aries, they just flicked on a light in my 3rd eye. Please, 3 cards in clarity for the Aries collective, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign watching this video, receiving this reading, please. What's going on in the physical part here, right? The root, sacrum, solar plexus of their work, career, and their vocation. April and May 2021. We've got here the advocate, that soul power of putting compassion into action. Like I get moments of that, right? I think we all get moments of that. But this in the physical world with that 4 of Swords, there's some contemplation going on here, or at least sort of weighing it out. It's almost like the 2 of Swords. But that thing, if there's something going on here I don't know about, and I don't know if I want to be here anymore, and I think maybe my time's up, but I'm not sure. What does that look like in the outside, please, my gods? Well, I like this. King of Cups, the Cancerian card, so there may be some emotional stuff going on here. There's some emotional maturity going on here. I mean, certainly that could feel like a compassionate boss. I mean, Cancerians can be very compassionate. I was raised by a Cancerian mother, but that doesn't mean that they're mushy. Right, my mom's a nursery school teacher, but, you know, she was with kids all day long, so like, not that I got treated like an adult. Although, yeah, you know, being raised by a teacher, she would say, well, go look it up, right? If I have, Mom, what does that word mean? You should go look it up. Well, I did. I think she might regret telling me to go look shit up, because I just stopped asking and I went right to the books, right? So I know that sort of reserved, emotional, boundaried feels good here. But I'm also going to say, if that's you from the outside looking in, you can contain your emotions on this. If you've got a sideways crab walk your way out of this situation, you're certainly contemplating it. But it also does speak of how you can do this in a compassionate way, an emotionally mature way at least. The mentor, heart, third eye crown, your career, your hunger, your thirst with play, loving this so much feels so drastically different from that. So please, my gods of fire in the sign of Aries, what does this look like on the outside? The star. Look, I have a feeling, and this may not be for everybody, but if you are a performer, a musician, a singer, an actor, anything in the public eye, I rarely go there with the card of the star. For me, the star card is about it's about the mother, the gateway grace, and there's the maiden, and there's the mother grace of hope, the gateway grace of hope. But this, I'm really feeling like it's your time to shine. And you might have a mentor who's a star, or someone mentoring you to be a star. Now, really, if you think about it, we have so many different ideas of what that word means. But what is a star's job? Really, just one thing: to shine. And to shine naturally. Like, a star doesn't have to shine, right? You don't see Polaris going, ah! Right? You know, it's just natural. It's the it factor, right? They just have it. Well, it feels like you're ready to bail on this, or boy, you're thinking about it. You're not so sure, how can I do this compassionately, or how do I even channel this sort of energy in my heart, third eye crown into my work in the world. Then of course you would be contemplating, thinking about that. I'm not sure, I don't know, but maybe you do. And maybe you are deceiving yourself, because the guidance that's coming here, we'll put all that together at the end. And one more card down after I look at these two. You got the Hermit with the Student. This is like saying, you're being shown how. You will be shown how. It's in your vocation. Just follow your path, right? You will be shown. If that's your thing, how do I bring all these together? I have brought all mine together. I've got president, a corporate president, essentially the leader of the company, archetype, teacher, artist here in the center, and mystic. I mean, every day I have to use all three of them. This could be that for you, my Aries. Breathe. My gods of Aries and the sign of fire, please, with this 8th chakra, their vocation, student, archetype, right? So this is about, okay, they may have the knowledge, the spiritual knowledge. Are they going to put it into action, right? That's part of that shadow, unwillingness and inability to decide or choose to translate knowledge into action, right? It feels like that's what this is with this action archetype. The advocate in the physical world. So please, my gods, April, May 2021, what does this look like on the outside in their vocation? From the outside looking in, maybe some aspect of it in their vocation. Page of Cups, a lot of reflection. I'll get there in a sec. Okay. This does not feel immediate. It feels like this would take a couple of months, actually, because in your 8th chakra, if you can really see it from the outside looking in, like looking at yourself. This is Page of Cups. Now, Page of Cups is an offer of love. It's a messenger, and this is Narcissus, where we get the word narcissist from. Now, it's not a narcissist card, but I suggest you read the myth, because there's something there about self-reflection. He falls in love with his own reflection as the result of pissing off a divine being, which, you know, if you're going to go there, expect the consequences. In my opinion, that's why I'm very kind to them and they're very kind to me. I also work for them, so I'm their favorite employee. I'm the fun one. To get that, this is a process of internal reflection, which I am kind of also getting here with this 4 of Swords. If you can maintain, and Aries can, I think. Aries, first sign of the zodiac. That's why they're so adventurous. They're like, I don't know, I just want to try it, right? I don't know, let's just jump off. They're like the Fool card. Let's just jump off the cliff. Really more the Magician, but you know what I'm saying. To really bring something into physical form, and really, if you were to, even though the card's not on the table, if you were to see this through the archetype of the Magician in the Tarot, you kind of really are in your upper chakras, like reaching up to the divine and saying, I don't know, but I'm willing to be shown. Let me go deeper in and higher up through my own intuitive faculties, right? Through my own kind of feeling this way out, because this is fun. This is fun in your career. And whoever this mentor is, whether it's you or it's them, either they're a star or you're a star or you're both stars, there's just something very, very powerful and playful here that I love. And I'm going to also say something connected to destiny, something written in the stars. This level of power I'm feeling just doesn't happen every day. It's something that's scripted into a life plan before you're ever born, and the contracts involved from soul to soul. And then certainly to bring that all down into form, to take your time doing so, really meditating on it, really feeling out, are there deceptions, is there something wrong here, so that you can put compassion into action, perhaps in a very intuitive way and a very emotionally mature way, as well as the possibility that the mentor that you are dealing with in the physical is like this King of Cups. Now, it's the Cancer card because that's how these two decks I work with are. It's not all the water signs. This is Orpheus. Go look up Orpheus, right? Talk about a King of Cups and all that. A big harpist. Down into the underworld to fetch his wife. Didn't go so well. But that being said, that you can really do this in a way that feels like is emotionally mature, or you are going to get somebody in your life, may already be in your life, in terms of your career, to help refine you to do just that, to move on. And maybe move on from, or maybe move on into bigger and better, because your creativity feels very, very fun and very, very worth investigating. But to know that you do not know, to be the student willing to put knowledge into action, this is going to be a really, really good couple of months for you. So that's what I see for you. May the Aries collective Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus sign be blessed with all that they need in their work, career, vocation, April and May 2021, that they may heal, that they may grow, that they may learn, that they may evolve, and that they may serve their well-being, the well-being of humanity, hell, the well-being of all. So mote it be, and so it is. Thank you so much for watching. If you liked it, like it. You want more, subscribe. You feel like sharing it, please do. Comment. And by all means, go read my book, Words of Grace, man. I wrote that book when I left the ministry, when my business, my career almost fell apart. And those words of grace, I was speaking them into a microphone. So that book really is sort of my lifeblood on the page, but in a very, very beautiful way. So if you like it, click the link. You want to come party with me, you want to come workshop with me, check out the links below as well. Otherwise, seriously, wishing you all the very, very best. And the very, very blessed of your work, career, vocation, April, May 2021, my Aries, hail. Farewell, and blessed be.